Now we are going to animate our main scene. Open up Adobe Illustrator file. Layers are arranged in order. Numbering starts from 0 for lowest level layer onwards. File, Scripts, Multi-Exporter. Create path. Remember about ignore warnings export. Set the resolution. Import files. Delete frames. Now we can easily travel between layers. Let's import previously prepared character. Gather the rest of the layers in folder. Remove all of the artwork and bones from existing rig. Leave only those assigned to head and neck, including their smart bones. Delete existing movement. Place folder with new body to the top. Adjust body to head. Remove head. Create main bone. We don't need to create bones on a straight line. Adding the rest of the bones. Select spine, adding more bones. Here artwork is distorted. Let's fix it. Adding more bones. Here we have some old bones. Assign neck to spine. Mark bones. Decrease bone strength. Here artwork fell apart. Let's assign artwork to bones. Hand assign on 2 bones. Cut this and paste it to different layer. Let's assign it hard. Assign the rest of the bones. This artwork is broken for no reason. Let's assign it hard. Back assigned to this bone. Pelvis 2. Shadow assigned to 2 bones. Make hands shadow longer. The same for the other hand. Let's fix it. Edit these vectors a bit. We don't need to do this perfectly, as no one is going to see this in animation. In case of any issues, we can always fix it manually. Move this hand away for this moment. Let's give her a bone, which will be parented with hand bone. Put this finger on a new layer. Artwork in the new layer has a different position than it had before copying. For that reason, we need to move the artwork manually. If we move neck, we see it doesn't work perfectly. To fix it, we need to add one more filling layer. Shadow is assigned to upper leg, but we need to mask it with lower leg. Let's do the same thing we did in previous lessons. If you move shadow, now you'll notice it is masked with lower leg. Let's make shadow a bit longer. Add an action. Now everything works great. If you see the turn sequence doesn't work well, it is because smart bones don't work correctly on frame 0. If we move to frame 1, everything is fine. Let's import girl artwork. Load background. Adjust girl size. Set guy. Remove framing. Start making bounds. Adding color for spine bones. Make hands yellow. Assign artwork to bones. If you're lost with following these, you can always check on the files provided with this masterclass. Add bones to eye rings. Assign artwork. Decrease bone strength. Assign hair. Add more bones. Create folder with face contents. Add the same for hair parts. Keep the back hair outside the folder, as it has to stay behind torso. Assign face artwork to bones. Fix artwork. Most likely there were some random vector points left alone during the character design process. They are too close to each other and we need to remove them. Let's check parenting. Head is okay. Assign neck. Masking shadow. Make a turn left. This bone is not helping here, so let's mark it and click Hide Selected Bones. Straighten nose up. Show all bones. Move ears. Earring bones. Put ears and earring lower than head so they stay behind when moving to the side. Enable animated layer order. Animate nose. Adjust head shape. Move next bone. Now time to change hair position. Hide back hair. Remove this point from frame 0. Align artwork. Add filling and assign it to bones. Place it higher in layer order. Set the following. Copy and paste frames on the beginning. Expanding. Decrease strokes. Switching now to character guy, copy folder with lips and paste it to girls. Set anchor points. Remove alt lips. Assign to head bones. Moving with smart bones action. Change filling. Now do the same thing for right side. Set hair layer. We can remove a couple of points, animate the rest. With all that you learned so far, you can rig character using smart bones with the following options: up and down, squash and stretch, eyes closing. I am using character I rigged before, so I'll have my layers named differently, but it doesn't really matter. Let's start off from arranging guy. Tick layers you want to animate. Turn guy left, head a bit down. Sad lips. Decrease thickness for eyebrows and lips. Let's create sad emotion. Move hand. Hand is slightly distorted. We can fix it manually. Tick mark it. Let's fix vectors. Put this hand higher. Adjust hand. Set auto freeze key. Let's make our character sigh. Turning aside a little. Turn head up and a bit to the right. Auto freeze. You can make the entire movement longer. Stretching frames. Eyebrows. Auto freeze. Slightly up. Align frames. Lips. Now we can delay head's movement. Add a bit more scale. Add a keyframe. Make a pause. Copy first frame and replace it. Delay side moves. Go back to eyebrows. They can go up even more. And then back down. Close eyes. Stretch lips. Keep lips closed for a bit longer to strengthen this emotion. Remember that for every movement animation, allow for 2 frames of pause. Otherwise, animation will be bouncing very rapidly, which we don't want to happen. Create another movement. Now let's create a movement to express depth. Adding first girl's movement. Tick mark layers we are going to animate. Move head away. Hand. Create movement for reading book. Make sure you have bones dynamics enabled for hair bones. Create first move. Book also needs to move. Adding heads move and torsos down. Head will turn back up automatically in third position. Stretching. Add log bone. Move head to the other side. We can delay head's movement. Make the entire movement shorter. Now it looks smooth and natural. Close eyes. Create new movement. Move hand, try holding Alt button. Adding head right turn. Move hands a bit more. Add freeze pause. Lower head and torso. Book's anticipation doesn't make sense anymore. Let's remove it. Make side moves more prominent. Delay one movement to make it more fancy. Scale. Close eyes. Make the movement to last longer. Freeze pause. Move this movement. Copy frame. Freeze pause. Now girl uncovers her face and gives a boy look. Push hands and book down. We're trying to avoid a hand sliding over book. With transform tool I can adjust her position as I want. Now move head. Left. Up. A bit of rotation. Now enhance this movement. Freeze frame, anticipation, down. Looks much better now. Up slightly. Eyes. Now scale. Minor updates for hand. Animation is an endless process of improving all the details, so it is hard to give you a solid recipe. Delay head. Bend it a bit harder. Now make the girl look towards boy. And then hides away again to continue reading her book. Freeze keys. 2 frames for pause. Move head aside. Now this period of time is too short. Close eyes halfway down. Move spine. Head. Book. Even more. Let's preview how does it look so far. Adding emotions for eyebrows. Copy. Modify. I think you should be able to follow up on this without me. Now time for lips. They are visible only from a certain moment, so there won't be too much work. Let's animate a tiny bit more. I think you should be able to follow up on this without me. We finished with girl now. Tick her off. Place guy's layers higher. Move his eyes to make his emotion look natural. Freeze pose. Pose. Make a new position. Turn right, up. Open eyes. Freeze pose to have the scale come back automatically to its original value. Scale. Move bones position down. Add head anticipation. Turn neck right. Have a look how does it feels now. Set the scale to a max. Balance the scale. And possibly anticipate even more. Close eyes. Now eyebrows and lips. Speed this part up. Whenever you animate emotions, keep auto freeze enabled. Let's work on spine movement and make sure auto freeze is disabled. Make sure both of the characters look on each other. Move hand to make it more fancy. Let's move hand right even more. Freeze pause. Make a simple turn left. Freeze frame. Scale. Looks like we forgot to add squash for smart bone scaled body at some point. Adding it up now. Move torso left a bit. Add neck too. Shape eyebrows. Make this kind of face. Let's see how it works. Bounce scale. And even more anticipation. Delay last movement. Have a look how it works. Head goes left eventually, but first it turns right. This is how our scene looks. If you want to continue with character animation, adding interesting poses, I'll show you how to switch hands kind. Make a keyframe. Disable parenting. We have new frames now. Hand's artwork was assigned to 2 bones. Now we need to assign artwork for the one to be released. Now hand is released. Put it away from workspace. Parent the new hand. Place it in new spot. Now you can do whatever you want. Click here to move it to the opposite direction. Import dog. Load it to folder and create bone layer. Create new bones. Remember about correct parenting. Create bottom bones to hold artwork. Adjust tail bones length. Set strength. Put more strength to these bones to keep the artwork at the bottom. Assign body to bones. We need to add some strength to the rest of the bones, as currently 2 bottom bones are dominating everything else. Even more. Now body works well. Parent bone. Test how it works. Assign the rest of the contents. Head, parent to 2 bones. Color. Let's fix artwork a little so it's aligned better. Now they are okay. Eyebrow is on head layer by mistake. Create new layer. Assign artwork. Don't create actions for every piece of artwork, even if it doesn't bend perfectly. In animation industry, time is money. So if you don't need to do something, just leave it the way it is. You can fix things so much quicker doing animation manually. Group head shade and head layers together. Remove a few points. We would need new ears for latter 2.5D turn. Copy ears with shadow and place them lower than head and body. Copy ears as bones. Move them left. Turn layers on so we could see new ears layers. Align bones. Assign artwork. Turn the rest of artwork on. Add bone dynamics for bones. Update parenting for this bone. See how it works. Hide away everything but the dog. Let's create left-right smart bone. Place dog's face lower than its head. We don't care for the shadow at the moment. Hide its face. Move eye and eyebrow. Move ear. Set the other 2 back. Move hair. Hide its mouth even more. Move color. Move nose to heads folder to make sure it is displayed properly. Add to mask. Now it is going to mask correctly. Move shadow right. Add lips to heads folder too. Don't mask this layer. Move lips. Set anchor point. Scale lips with M. It is crucial that you don't move vector points directly, otherwise you won't be able to manipulate them during animation. Move hair a bit more. Let's see how it works so far. Add smart bones for closing eyes. Squash and stretch. Let's animate tail. With auto freeze keys disabled, bend his tail to desired position. Next, set the opposite position. Now we have two positions. We now copy them in equal intervals. Now differentiate individual bones over time. Delay by 2 frames. Following by 4. And last is delayed by 6 frames. Now we see tail behaves naturally. We can speed it up. Let's animate our dog with the scene. Turn the artwork on. I can adjust display mode here. Freeze keys. Move dog left so he is looking at his master. Add anticipation. Close and open eyes. Squash. More anticipation on head. Delay head's movement. Auto freeze keys. Tick mark this. Add lips movement. We have first movement ready. Let's move on. Auto freeze keys off. Create keyframes. Move dog right. Maybe too low. Important, he looks after his master. Speed the movement up slightly. Bend the body a bit more and keep head to the top. Grab spine's bones. This frame is useless. This frame is useless. Freeze keys. Anticipation. Move his mouth more. The other part of mouth we can delay. Close eyes. Adding squash and stretch, this time up. Copy frames. Edit them slightly. We can move dog's animation with relation to the rest of the animated sequence. Mark every bone but tail. As we don't want to move tail's keyframes, mark all of the eyebrows' keyframes and dog bones' frames in red. We will create dog's reaction to guy's behavior in next frame. Freeze keys. Freeze keys. Anticipate head hard. Delay nose. We can also move nose to the left to make the movement more fancy. You'll notice that it all feels cartoonish now. Eyes. Squash. Bounce scale. Add eyebrows animation. Animate lips. Freeze keys. Freeze keys. Now we're going to copy previous movements, so mark all of the bones but tail. Duplicate these keyframes. Bring this movement a bit closer. Decrease nose movement slightly. Freeze keys. Copy frames from first movement. And there you go, we have our dog animated. We won't be rigging Cat step by step this time. You should be able to do this yourself by now. But I can show you what I did. Also, you can use AI source files provided with this masterclass and rig Cat character yourself. Turn the other layers off. You work with tail the same way as you did with the dog's tail. The same with paws. In particular moment, Cat is surprised and tail reacts to Cat's rapid movement. At first, tail moves right, then left, straightens itself up and lays flat down. In this animation, Bone's movement was delayed, one after the other, same as dogs. Torso is assigned to main bone. This is how squash and stretch work, and breathing is accomplished with this bone. Head is standard. I did ears and mustache with bone dynamics. This is how turn right works. Ears bones move left, one ear hides away. Mustache bones go right, mouth and eyes to follow. A patch on face is masked with head. One eye is on switch layer. When we switch eye from closed to open, we try to keep it look closed in the first phase of its animation. I really encourage you to rig and animate Cat from scratch yourself. It is going to be a great exercise proving your skill. Create new file. Set the resolution. Import file. Set file scale. Turn to bones. Remove rectangulars. Start with hand A. Group. Set scale. Create new bone. Turn the visibility off for second hand. By mistake, I moved the layer here. Create bones. Adjust bone strength. Add this artwork on a separate layer. Assign artwork to bones. Adding points. Assign artwork to bones. Test how everything works so far. We don't have enough points on both stroke and fill. To fix this, create new layer for stroke. Add points on finger layer. Add points on stroke layer. We're trying to add points to the same location as finger layer. Assign stroke to bones. And now left hand work OK. Turn left hand off. Group. Add mask. Add bones. Assign layers. Assign 3 bones for these items. Let's assign everything else. Decrease bone strength. Don't forget about small parts. Fix points. And assign this item to single bone. Adding masks. These 2 layers. Swap their position and adjust masking. Create smart bones. Move preview layer away from bone, so bone doesn't react with artwork from preview layer. Set preview in hands location. Back to smart bone. Turn the layers on and work on vector lines only. We are trying to shape the hand in its final position. Turn the following artwork on. Move fingers bone to hide it away. Turn next finger on. Turn next items on. Adjust artwork. So we're missing some items. And let's copy them from preview layer. Adjusting artwork and hide it away on frame 0. Put stroke on new layer. Duplicate. Put down. Assign layers to bones. Back to smart bone. Set movements to artwork. This layer should go up. Let's preview how it works. We need to fix it a little. This line should start off from this point. We need to work with the artwork's location a little. Let's remove a few points. Now head should be fine. It's good to swap stroke thickness. Back to mainline. I think we should add stroke to finger. Select point and create stroke. Now finger looks so much better. Move finger parts. Let's make part of the finger to stick out. I don't want it to bend so much. Fix the artwork. Adjust shadow. Turn on the rest of the layers. Fix the artwork. Now hands behaves naturally. Change pattern position on frame 0. Now let's animate its movement. Please follow the video to align the artwork. Back to mainline. Turn all the layers on. Import animated PNG images sequence. Assign them to bones. Turn alt layer off. Move sequence over time with sequencer tool. Back to channels tab. Name it. Set bounce in exact position. Create first movement. Copy frames. Add anticipation. Delay movement. Rotate it a bit more. Let's do at least one more frame for pause. Delay finger movement. Bend it to the other side. Delete this frame. Decrease fingers rotation. Add rotation here. Freeze keys. Make this move rapid. Now move hand towards icon. Moving smart bone. Add rotation to the beginning as well, so the overall 2.5D effect is much more prominent. Delete. Copy. Rotate hand more. Freeze frame. Freeze frame. Speed the movement up. We can rotate it even more. Freeze frame. Give it a break for 2 frames. Freeze frame. Delay fingers movement. We can rotate it even more. Delay fingers movement. We have the first hand movement ready. And that should be it for hands animation. You may want to check on Moho source file I added to this masterclass with more hands animations. You can always give it a closer look to see if there is anything that could help you. Keep in mind that there is a bonus content where you can find a set of illustrations you can animate yourself. I really hope you learn a lot, and soon we are going to see tons of great character animations done with Moho everywhere in the internet. Thanks for taking the masterclass. See ya!